Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 9, Whisperer PIKE Predictions. So this won't just be Episode 9. This will extend all throughout the second half of the season. And this is your chance to really get your ideas in there. I know the comic book fans are going to have a certain thought, but the television fans, we might be able to shake it up a little bit. I don't think it's going to completely follow suit. We got several super chats, I think, already, so I want to jump right into it. Scott, I'm going to kind of analyze yours in a little bit. Scott is predicting Rosita, Ezekiel, Scott, Birdie, Luke, Connie, Cindy, Alden, Gage, Nora, and we're going to break them down. We'll probably go person by person. It's quite a bit. I know you predicted 11 and then scaled it down to 8, so we'll talk about some of those. But I think there's going to be some extra names on there that are not on the list as well. So we also got, who else we got here? I see Valar. I think Valar saying, what's up to the 999 Army? Kill Steph, Kells, Emmy, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course, all the super chatters. And we're going to also add some of the Patreon thoughts in this as well, because I asked the patrons a little bit earlier tonight. Actually, it was this evening to give me some of their thoughts about who could get piked. And with that segue with the patrons, I want to say thank you to our newest patron. That would be Michelle Trudell. That is Mitch True, as you guys know her in the stream. Thank you so much for your support. And she's added to the all in all. It's just another brick in the wall. Top left-hand corner. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So let's get into it. This has been something that even as we've talked about other topics, we talked about Rick and we talked about the time skip. There's just been this underlying interest in who is going to be on the pike, who is going to be the territory marker. But that's not the only way that people are going to end up with some deaths here. I got the feeling there's going to be some major you know what? I do have to address this. So it's good to see Captain Crawfish back. So there's a story there. Captain Crawfish says, my last super chat seeing that I got timed out last stream. So we were in a pretty heated exchange, and we had someone that was spamming line by line, and I think it was Crawfish who super chatted, and it was never, and it was probably going to be about 5 or 6 super chats in a row, and we would have loved to see those contributions, but we had to stop it before it turned into spam. But good to see Captain Crawfish back. Admittedly, I might have pulled the trigger on Crawfish a little bit soon, but yeah. Thank you for being back. Good to see you again. Scott Curtin super chatting says, Connie's actress only signed for a few episodes. So you guys are shooting down my my Connie theory. I thought, Connie finding the baby and her, extra senses kind of kicking in, that she would be an asset. So, we'll go person by person. What do you guys think? You think Connie makes the curve, or she's going to be... you think she's going to end up on a pike? And notice that, based on the introductory art, you can't really tell anything by the sketches and by the people that are on the pikes. So we got some... Kitty says, keep Connie. Yeah, so I think it's going to be... we probably got to start out with a major one. Somebody that's already missing. Connie on a pike would be devastating to her group. Yeah, I mean, they already lost Bernie. So a lot of people think she's safe. I think she's safe. Yeah, Tony, I think DJ for sure. Then that's a possibility, Scott. Think she'll die, but not by the pike. And we're going to split this stream up into 2 types of things. I know it is pike predictions, but then we're going to talk about some regular deaths too. And I just don't see another disappearance and someone popping back in. So at this point, I think the people leaving are going to leave by death. So what we'll do is I'm going to give you a couple names as well, just to kind of get a feel for most likely. Now, once again, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Don't just base it on your comic book knowledge. Base it on what you know and what you feel about the television show. I mean, it's easy to pick Rosita and Ezekiel. But based on the story arc, the direction that things are going right now, if you had to pick one, either one of the two that I'm going to mention, or both, who gets the pike? Eugene, Ezekiel, or both? Or neither? Eugene, Ezekiel, both, or neither? That is your selection. Some people are going to pick Eugene just because I don't think they like Eugene. I know, that's always going to be a challenge. Both, says William. Lot more Zekes. Ezekiel for sure. All right, so I'll play into it. I'll give you Ezekiel. But give me the scenario of how this goes down with Ezekiel. I mean, right now, you got Ezekiel at the kingdom. You've got, do they attack the kingdom? Does it happen at the fair? Does Henry get captured first and Ezekiel goes in trying to save Henry? Which scenario do you think is the most likely? Once again, you guys know how we do things here. We funnel it down. We throw a bunch of things out there and we see what sticks. Scott says, a weird feeling Ezekiel could die, but not by the pike. I think if he dies, he's getting piked, Scott. We got some people saying this fair. Well, I mean, that Jesus Whisperer moment was a big deal. Could you imagine if Ezekiel was, and look, we don't know what type of fair it's going to be. I don't think they're going to have like Ferris wheels or anything, but they are going to have different, it's going to be like a bazaar. It's going to be like a market where you go and trade goods and stuff. Could you imagine Ezekiel kind of being up there talking about how great the fair is and somebody comes up and stabs him from behind? Whew! That would be tough. Scott with a follow-up says, could die sacrificing himself for Henry or Kara. That's a possibility. Drama King, New York City says, I'm going to say Jerry gets piked because he had the stare down with the undercover Whisperer. So are you guys pretty good that the cowboy dude is an undercover Whisperer? We all agreement with that? Foreshadowing. I think it's a strong possibility, Drama. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I don't think he's beta. I definitely don't think he's big enough to be beta. And he doesn't have the hair to be beta either. And the beard to be beta. So, just out of curiosity, because we got a ton of people here, and you guys be honest with me. Was it any of you that were giving me a lot of crap, giving me a hard time when I said the Whisperers would infiltrate one of the other communities? Admit to it if it was you. Because I caught a lot of heat from that. And now, it seems like it's going to happen. Okay, just making sure. I just got a lot of comic book references thrown up whenever I said that. Oh, Scott wanted to know who the actor is and should be posted. Ryan Hurst. Now, in fairness, American Prize is like Kills called it. In fairness, if I'm going to I'm not really gloating, but if I'm going to take a little credit, I also have to say it was the same stream that I suggested that the Whispers could have been a former military operation. So look, if I'm going to say, I'm going to call it like I see it. I can admit when I was wrong. So yeah, I was wrong about that too. But hey, 50% right, I'll take it. So some of the things that we had sort of laid out, a scenario of how this could go down, did hinge on the fact that possibly the group didn't make it out, or, perhaps Rosita went out looking for Eugene. Now it looks as if everybody's making it back okay. So it does lead you to believe, instead of them going back out, getting lost, getting captured again, that there's a lot with this fair. I think the fair is going to be where everything goes down. It's going to be where the kingdom gets attacked. Because you can definitely see that when Sadiq is talking to Michonne and says, what if the kingdom falls, that what good is having Alexandria survive? So to me, that means that maybe kingdom has already gotten wasted, or a good portion of it, and word has just gotten back, and Michonne is kind of indifferent about it. Got a super chat. This is Colby Dennis. At the fair, Zeke gives a speech thanking communities for coming and gets ambushed. Would set up all the chaos. Yes, it would. No doubt about it. And let me say this. This is one of those gray areas for The Walking Dead. How many people would cancel the fair because, well, Jesus just died? I mean, you got creepy people out there. How many people would say, you know what, now's not the time to have the fair. Let's prepare for an attack. Is that a fair assessment? Yes, okay. I'll stop. I won't do it again. It's just sometimes those puns just come naturally. Right. Most people would go on high alert. Most people would postpone it. So, in my world of Walking Dead gray area, if they have knowledge of what goes down and word travels fast, they're not that far away from Hilltop. I mean, when Rosita got attacked, there was already messengers on their way to Alexandria. So that happened really quick. So if they know that there's danger out there and Ezekiel goes forward with this in a twisted sort of way, don't you think that they kind of bring it on themselves because they're not prepared? I'm setting something up here, so just kind of follow along with me for a minute. I'm not saying they deserve it. I'm just saying that if you know there's a threat out there, but you're just like, you know what, we planned this for a long time, it's important. I could see Ezekiel saying that, right? It's important to do this event, and let's eat, drink, and be merry, or whatever. They're asking for it to a degree. So that's my Walking Dead gray area, and that's why I think that when we see decisions like this, they always come back to have epic consequence. American Pride 7777 says, perhaps if the fair is like medieval fairs, there would be costume people, entertainment, so maybe Negan attends that way. Huh. You know, I think the white t-shirt and the leather jacket would give it away, but, you know, could Negan show up in a mask? I don't think it's going to be one of those type of fairs, though. Just by seeing Jerry. Jerry's not wearing a mask, and then the dude, walking by, the cowboy we're calling him, he's not wearing a mask. So, no, I don't think it's going to be like somebody that's concealed, like a Ren fair or anything. Drama King. Ezekiel's plan for the fair is to unite the groups. If a few get slaughtered, just might achieve this goal and unite groups against the Whisperers. I won't disagree with you. I think it's a means to the end. I mean, and we've seen similar events like that happen. I still think it's a poor decision, ultimately, because I get a feeling like they're going to do something and they're going to get slaughtered when they least expect it. With it being mentioned multiple times already, with Robert Kirkman vaguely addressing it on Talking Dead, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So, to think that we're just going to see a couple people undercover, getting in, finding out something, I think we'd be naive to think that. I got to think that there's going to be a major, major shocking type of death. But I think Drama King is right. In a weird sort of way, having them all together and a few people dying might be the push that Alexandria needs to wake up and to get involved. Oh, fair's a smorgasbord. Yeah, there's so many targets there. But if you want to instill fear, take down one of the big names at the fair. Mystic says, who is the cowboy? I don't know. I don't recognize him. Never seen him before. And Casey, you're right. Michonne might end up being right in a weird sort of way. So I can see kind of your point and Drama's point that, yeah, she was right not to go, and the Hilltop was kind of right to be prepared for things, but now they're going to have this event, and somebody getting taken out. Now, is someone, I got more of a twisted way. I'll get to that in 1 second. Maybe they don't die there. Maybe there's some people already dead, and then some of these pikes show up. 916 will be emotional. This is Scott Kernan super chatting. Be emotional in a way that people do die, in fact, on pikes, but as it happens, the groups reunite against Whisperers, ending the S9 arc. So, I can see 9 going down in a way where, we get back to these skirmishes. And, kind of like with All Out War, skirmishes can drag on, or it can seem like there are territories. You don't go into our territory, we don't go into your territory, but then something ultimately will, I think, incite more activity. And I think it's going to be the Whisperers. I don't think the Whisperers, even if there was a temporary agreement or a truce, I don't think they can be negotiated with. Commodore Crawfish. My heroes have always been cowboys and still are today. What, you might have a brand new cowboy. Well, at least you like John from Fear the Walking Dead. This guy looks a little bit... Well, let me take an opposite spin on that. Are we 100% certain that this dude coming in is an undercover whisperer? Do they need to go undercover, or could this possibly be another John Dory? Could this be another introduction of a character that we're going to get to know? Is that a possibility with anybody? I mean, we've only seen kind of Jerry not really knowing who he is. I mean, he is a stranger. Let me jump over to Super Chat. We got William Finney. The Whisperers are going to show how savage they are. Henry and 2 other younger kids die at the fair. That's a pretty bold prediction. Henry won't die at the fair, though. It's a bold prediction, but based on some pretty reliable information, William, that's not the way it's going to go down with Henry. Because Henry is going to be at the Whisperer camp. Scott Kernan says the episode Shiva died foreshadow Ezekiel's death. Oh, I'm sorry. That's that's not Scott. Hold on, I'm going to get to that one second. Scott Kernan said, wouldn't end S9 on a cliffhanger, would they? Yes, Scott, I do think they'll end it on a cliffhanger. I think, I don't think it'll be a crazy cliffhanger like it was, with the lineup, because they caught some heat for that. I loved it. It was a great 5 months because, man, we had a lot of fun talking about it and met a whole lot of new people. But I think most of the story is going to end on at least a mini cliffhanger. I mean, even last year, right? They took Negan and had him locked up, and then you got Maggie talking about preparing for the future. I mean, it's always going to be a little bit of suspense. Let me jump over to this other super chat. This is Colby Dennis, actually, said the episode Shiva died foreshadowed Ezekiel's death. It's been a long time, though, Colby. So, I mean, that's 7 years. And, I guess you could kind of say that, well, at some point he's probably going to die. But by foreshadowing it, the way that Shiva died, I think that's a tougher correlation. Silver Mayhem, super chatting, and Silver, type a comment. So if you do super chat, then let us acknowledge your question. So moderators, I think you just hit the button a little too quick. But if you see a super chat, let me know, or a follow-up comment. Leonard says Henry has to die, an annoying character. Leonard, if that was the basis for characters dying, Spencer would have died even sooner. Tara would be dead by now. I mean, there's a lot of annoying characters that make it. And I don't think they can make Henry into a saint, but I think Henry older is definitely better than Henry younger, and you almost have to go from hate to accept to kind of like. I don't know that you can just go from hate to like. And I see what they're trying to do with Henry, so I could see Henry surviving. I don't hate Henry right now. I'm just not quite to a point where I like him. And, okay, Colby, I get. So the Savior was trying to kill him. Yes. That makes sense. Right after Ezekiel's men got massacred and then the guy was going to cut off Ezekiel's head and put it in a bag. Yes, I definitely... That's where we really started talking about the Whisperers a lot. So that's a good point. Appreciate that follow-up. Jimmy's jamming. If the Whisperers take Henry, they're in a world of trouble. Kamikaze Carol will light their butts up. I guess... Look, anybody can die on The Walking Dead. And I don't like to predict deaths based on necessarily what a character's been through, because you know what? Sometimes people just have crappy luck. But I'm not saying could Carol emotionally handle the loss of Ezekiel, the loss of Henry, but can we as viewers handle Carol handling the death of Ezekiel? Think about that for a second. I'm not trying to confuse you, but are we ready to deal with an emotionally unstable Carol? Because one would think that an Ezekiel death at this point would absolutely destroy her. Zoe, I'm not positive about that. Where you said, of course, Carol could handle it, not a weak woman. Carol actually is a weak woman at times. Now, she's not weak at this moment, but she gave up killing. I mean, she's been through a lot, and just to say that she could handle it or she would do it, I don't know. She was having a lot of regrets about all the people she killed. Who else we got? We got Logan. What's up, Logan? Hopefully you made your gig last night. I know you're running a little late at the end, so thank you for that. And once again, if you guys super chat, try to get your comments typed in there because any shout outs or anything you want to bring up, would definitely like to highlight that. I'm just scrolling around checking a couple comments here. Yeah, Crystal, though, at what cost? If Henry and Ezekiel, something were to happen to them, well, absolutely, you would see Carol in beast mode, but at what cost? At what long-term cost? At the cost of her sanity? And I don't think they're going to do that to her again. Kitty Cat. Henry's death would do her in worse than Zeke. You know what? Let's make that a super chat spotlight. Which death would be the hardest on Carol? Henry or Ezekiel? I think I agree with that as well. I definitely think Henry too. I mean, we see what she was willing to do for Henry. I mean, Henry basically called her out and said, you've gotten a little weak. And she went and got that ring back. It was no joke. Scott Kernan with Super Chat said, Henry's would remind her of Sophia. Yeah. And I feel like Henry's going to be around for a little while. Don't think people like him yet. But I think that'll change. We got William Finney. Carol is the toughest female on the show. She plays with viewers' emotions and then snaps and burns people alive and just goes about her day. I agree with that. Now she does. As long as she doesn't kind of go back on it and regret it again. And I don't think she will. But just know it's there. Would an Ezekiel death catapult Henry's character? If Henry had to watch an Ezekiel death, do you think that would get Henry some points with the viewers? That his actions would it would strengthen him in the minds of the fans? I think it would. So that might be a good storyline. Might be something good to keep an eye on. As much as we like Ezekiel, then when I think about it like that, and I think about the Whisperers need to be violent, they do need to make an example out of some big name characters, and I think killing Ezekiel would affect several people. It would affect Jerry. It'd affect Henry. It'd affect Carol. It would actually, to me, it would propel their storyline. Even though I don't necessarily want him to die, I could see the benefit to the story. American Pride says maybe a few saviors survived Carol's bonfire and are coming after her at the fair. And that's how Zeke dies. Let's throw that out there. What do you guys think? Any saviors still in existence? Or do you think we're done with the Savior's arc? I think they're all gone. I can't even think of one that would add value. And I don't think they want saviors floating around, because I think they want Negan's arc to go forward. And if there's 2 or 3 or 4, it's always going to be in the mind of some people like, look, he never changed, and now he's got a chance to rebuild. I just don't think that's a question that we want to have to go back to. I think it's time for Negan to... It won't happen right away, but it's time for him to start trying to win the audience over. And I think he's close. Christopher Sage says, Whisperers gather walkers in thousands, end of Season 8, where Rick points to the field, foreshadowing a herd being unleashed on a community. Red wedding. Ooh, I like that. I love it. That, you know what, Christopher, you typed what I was thinking. And I was trying to get my mind around it, like catch them when they're weak. But that is the exact analogy that I was thinking about, is Game of Thrones. If they blow up this fair, if you have not binged watched Game of Thrones, I'm not going to tell you. Don't spoil it, because we do have some people that are going to binge watch it. Let me just say, I heard about the Red Wedding before I even watched it, because I was playing a Game of Thrones video game, and it started right around that point. But I had no idea when it was going to happen, and I had no idea how devastating it was. So if they make the fair into a Red Wedding type of scene, wow. I you know what? I'm totally okay with them hijacking the idea. Let me know if you guys like that idea and you like Christopher's super chat, then give it a little thumbs up. Let's see if we can get up to about 200 likes just because of that comment. That was awesome. Very nice, Christopher. Thank you for super chatting that. Ramon Carter says, kills. It's possible Michonne killed Cindy somehow. Ramon's very possible. We were debating, I think it's possible that that's the cause of the rift between Michonne and Tara. That Cindy saved Tara, but then because Cindy's kind of went rogue, that Michonne had to kill her. I think it's definitely out there. Commodore Crawfish says, what if Negan saves Ezekiel? Redemption for him. You know what? I'm going to put it out there for a vote. I like it. So, those of you still on the fence, Crawfish, I don't think it's going to push people to the Negan team yet, because I asked the question the other night, and I gave the example of Daryl, and there were still several people that said, no, I don't care. I love Daryl, but I'm still never going to forgive Negan. But would Negan saving Ezekiel win any brownie points with some of you? Leave your thoughts and comments. I'm going to jump into another super chat while we're analyzing that. Got Westwood Chronic. The Whisperers could earn some strong points with me if they ghost that teenager from Hilltop who was sporting the bro tee. That's a win-win. Yeah, I guess there's some people we wouldn't mind seeing exit the show. But Westwood, I don't know. As satisfying as it would be to have the Whisperers take out a few annoying people, I don't think that they're going to put them in the good graces of anybody. I think they're going to keep them hardcore evil. But good thought. Scott Kernan says people would be waiting for Alpha to get Joffreyed. Saw an article on him, the actor that played Joffrey, and said he gave up acting because he just wasn't exciting to him anymore. burn out at such an early age. That was interesting to me. Just a little extra tidbit. Who else we got here? We got, okay, a few people are saying yes. Yeah, I love it. Yes, time for forgiveness. Logan, with his follow-up super chat, said, do you think Gabe or Negan have talked about or mentioned Jadis had a sat phone and could call choppers? I don't think so. I really don't. I think it probably struck them as odd. But, Logan, I guess not knowing how the conversation would come about, I'm going to get back to you on that. It didn't seem like they talked enough about like casual things. I mean, how would that conversation come up? Like, hey, Gabe, you still seeing the chick with the bowl cut? No, I moved on to Rosita. Okay, well, yeah, she had a chopper. I just don't see that as like a random conversation they would have had. Maybe they still will. We'll see how that goes down. Let's see. We got E-Beach. Negan saves Judith at the fair. Redemption. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, there's a lot of ways that Negan can get that last little bit of redemption. That would certainly be if there's a slaughter going on and there's a few people to be saved. But, E-Beach, I don't know that Judy's going to be at the fair. I don't know that anybody from Alexandria is going to be there. That's the problem. Valar, Kills just wondering if you answered Logan 5 questions. I did. I hope. Maybe. Mystics, in the comics, Alpha is ruthless. She is crazy. And Mystics, I think we're going to get no difference. Actually, I think she's going to be more ruthless on the TV show from a killing standpoint. Jake from State Farm at 3 a.m. says, it just won't be a red wedding at the Kingdom. A lot of other communities will be making themselves vulnerable while everyone is at the fair. I'm really loving that idea. It will be discussed on other channels. I can guarantee you. Christopher, the timing of that analogy could not be more perfect. And I'm just going to ask you guys, if you see it pop up in your stream or you hear other people talk about it, just know that that's the first time I've seen it tied in that way. It's comparing the fair to the red wedding. Chris Riddle, hit the like button. Love to kill Steph, Tommy, Kells, Emmy, and the idea-inspiring 999 Army. I like that. That idea-inspiring. So, we don't have a break yet. We don't have a law. But I am going to ask everybody, we've got 400 plus people here, and Chris Riddle just super chatted and said, hit the like button. Come on, Army, let's do it one time. If you're having a good time, if you like these streams, you like hanging out with us, all you got to do, come on, slide that mouse over, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, and you're bored to death, and this is crazy, and you're like, why the hell did I ever pop in a stream? Then give it a thumbs down. But either way, make a selection. Pick good or bad. We just want to know. And if you do like what we're doing, then come back and hang out with us. Hit the subscribe button. We'd love to get your ideas out there because it's not just about what I'm saying behind the microphone. It's about all of your ideas and a collection of all your ideas. And we've gotten some absolute wonderful super chats tonight. I mean, there's some good stuff out there. What else we got here? We got Lisa Khaleesi. Pike the like as soon as I come into the room. Thank you for that. Good stuff. I don't know that I want to go in and talk about 5 different B characters that could end up on Pikes. I think it's too random, but I do like the concept that many of you have said about could be a couple people from each community. And DJ is about as low on the totem pole. Oh, I did it again. Pike, totem poles, bunch of heads. All right, you guys get it. That's my second big pun tonight. Pay attention. There could be more. DJ is about as low, though, as I really want to talk about, because I think at that point we're just kind of throwing a bunch of names out there. But the mid-level and the high-level characters are they're going to happen. There's nothing we can do about that. Drama King, New York City says, good night, Army. Also, Savior Laura is still kicking. You know, Laura would be about a DJ level. Pike, I think. So that's a possibility. Commodore Crawfish says, heads up and pike the like button for Alpha's sake. Very nice. And I'm just jumping around. The sweetest Jersey girl. What's up, sweetest Jersey girl? I think Michonne will go to the fair. Michonne is pretty stubborn. Very stubborn. So, Jersey girl, you might be right. But the only thing that scares me about that is the way her and Sadiq had that conversation where she seemed like, okay, it's not really my job to protect them. It's my job to take care of my own group. So that it gives me a little bit of pause. I hope she does. All right, several people asking. So hang on because we're going to get to more Walking Dead chat, but I'm just going to address this kind of like with one topic because people are asking, how do I help the channel? How do I support the channel? All of those things. How do I become a Patreon? There's a link down below in the description. And thank you. I see several people coming on like, this is the best Walking Dead channel. This is the best stream. Here's the secret. It's because we do forums live and we get everybody's ideas in it. That's what makes it so much fun. We do have some channel goals. So we're going to get up to 100 Patreons by the end of Season 9. We're going to probably be at 100,000 subscribers and 1,000 Facebook fans. So anything you guys want to do, if you guys just want to hang out with us, that's great. If you guys want to super chat, that's great. If you just participate in the chat, that's awesome. But there are other ways if you want to get involved as well. So I don't want to make it a whole advertising thing, but I do just want to sort of answer the questions when people ask. All right. JB says Judith sneaks out to the fair and Negan will save her. So that's a couple people said that. So maybe that is picking up a little bit of steam. That Negan goes by, he does kind of his reminiscing memory tour, and he wants to see what's happening with the sanctuary, the fall of the sanctuary, and on his way back, the fair, maybe. It's a possibility. We've got Super Chat, William Finney. Kills. Let's get the 999 Army together to do a Facebook or YouTube stream walking around Alexander and Woodbury. I know there's some Georgia family here. Sorry for the subject change. No worries, William. But that might happen. It's more likely that, and I've heard from a few people, I think there'll be several of the 999 Army members at San Diego Comic-Con, and that is a possibility. So I may go to San Diego Comic-Con. It's not confirmed yet, but we just got some channel goals we want to hit, and if we hit those channel goals, then maybe we'll do a live stream live from an actual location. But thank you for that. Clown Dust. Problem with Negan and the Whisperers. He has no knowledge of them thus far. It's a good point. And you know what? I don't have a counterpoint to that. I'm just trying to visualize a way that he might run into him. I did hear in last night's stream, and once again, this is why we have funnels. This is why we throw a couple theories out there. So we've heard Negan may show up at the fair. He may save Judith, get a little bit of redemption. That would tie into something we talked about, look, he's out of jail. Maybe at this point, they're not going to exhaust any resources and go after him. He served his time. So showing up at the fair and doing a good deed could get him some, final points. Some people also mentioned last night that maybe he's on his way back. He goes to Sanctuary and he realizes there's nothing for him there, and he's going to go back and just go back to his cell because that's all he has at this point. And on the way back, he encounters some Whisperers. And both of those, I think, have some believability at this point. So we'll keep them both as active theories. and we'll just add bits and pieces to it. Matt Moore with the next super chat and says, what's up, Matt? Heads up, Pike's down. That's the way we roll. Out of town alpha. That's right. Pike the like button. Scott Kernan. Oh, kills. How's DC? DC is cold. That I can tell you. Like, really cold. Trying to get... Oh, you got to request that, Matt. Maybe at the end of the video. I'll throw something out there for you. Commodore Crawfish. Maybe a Facebook Live from a porta potty at Comic-Con. You know, all the stuff... all the stuff that I said about the amazing super chats and how deep and detailed they were just got unraveled by one crawfish super chat. It just, yeah. You know, leave it to crawfish to throw me off my game. Good stuff. Nah, that probably won't happen though. Tanya, hey guys, love my 999 Army family. Got to go. Peace. Well, hey, thanks for popping in. Appreciate you being here. Mystic says he saves Daryl for redemption, and that's what I want. Well, I'm going to tie that into it all depends when the fair happens. So, I don't think the fair is going to go down without Carol being there and without Henry being there and other people. That's why I think the fair goes down, something bad happens, and then a lot of these events are sort of simultaneous. So it's either going to be one or the other with Negan. Either he's going to save someone at the fair. Let's put it up for a vote. It is, pick one of these. It is more likely for Negan to show up at the fair and have a good deed happen there, or for Negan to get involved and infiltrate the Whisperer camp after Michonne, Daryl, Carol get kidnapped. I still feel like that's more likely. I think Negan's going to kind of disappear, and I think Judith is going to find him when she needs him. I just think the bond is already there with Judith, and I feel like the writers want to string us along a little bit. I think that they just want us to be uncertain whether we can trust him or not, and I think when Judith trusts him, see, this has been set up already. This is why I feel so good about it. I think Crawfish just went super... just outdid my puns. Crawfish with another super chat. And you know what? Let's do a pun battle. I mean, if it's on, it's on. I listed 2 puns earlier that I thought were pretty good. Commodore Crawfish just threw his out there. Too crappy of a super chat. Left a stink. And that was with the live chatting from a porta potty. I might have to vote myself down on that and vote for the Crawfish. That was some creativity. Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to accept my loss on this one. I can't compete with that. So, kind of to the point of Judith. The scene of Judith saving Magna's group was, to me, honest. I'm going to be honest. It was the most powerful scene of Season 9. Agree or disagree? If you disagree, one caveat. You have to give me a more epic scene. Or a more important scene. I can only speak for myself. The way the camera panned in and they were in trouble introducing Magna's group. No, you can disagree. Mystics, no problem. Just give me another scene that was more important to you. I'm okay with that. So it is the most important to a lot of people, but if it's not, it's up there for you guys, which is fine. It'll still make my point. Because of when I was describing that in the spoiler, there were people in the stream that said, wow, I just got cold chills when you said that. They already felt that scene just by us talking about it. So then when they saw it, it just reinforced all that emotion. That was the emotion that we needed at the end of that. It's fine. I just wanted to get a gauge of how many people it was the most important scene. But regardless, it's still up there for a lot of people. That I think we can agree on. We got, wow. Crawfish is definitely on a roll. Figure that one out. So he's saying I wiped a clean victory. Yeah. I just kind of took a shot there. Crawfish, I will say one thing. You certainly made a big splash. All right. That's it. Enough of the potty humor. We're moving on. Let me get back to Judith and really kind of the point to this. Saving Judith at a fair would be fine. But I still think there's a bigger end game here. Judith is adored by everybody on the show now. Henry, maybe not. Other characters, maybe not. But I think we can agree that she is the second coming of Rick. We can see it already. Her hanging out with Negan shows that she has a toughness about her. But it still doesn't totally give Negan that pass that he needs. But if Michonne is in a dire strait, if she's in a rough situation, and Judith is able to trust Negan, I think that's it. I think that is the final piece of the puzzle. Her going to him, basically showing that she trusts him to fight side by side. I think the audience, full redemption. What do you think? What do you think about that? Because of the way they set it up, I think the writers set it up masterfully. As bad as they did the overkill with Glenn and the overkill with that scene, they've had a long way back, and I think that will be what will get them there. And don't know if Michonne's going to survive it. That's with the contract situation and with her movie stardom. Crawfish, the splash has more than clogged the live stream. That, no doubt. I agree. When would Judith scratch the back of her head? Judith's going to walk up to Negan and say, Negan, can I ask you something? Scratch the back of her head. And then you know. Then you know who's the father. I think my my longtime supporter and brand new Patreon just got inadvertently hidden by the moderators. There you go. Bring her back. Wow, Michelle got like unhidden. She got unhidden by like lots of people. That's more of an honor. Good stuff. Moderators are in rare form tonight. Unfortunately, I have not seen the few trolls that have popped in, but I've seen a few people get timed out. So just telling you guys, there are rules. Keep it adult-oriented. Let's see, we got Jimmy's Jamming. I think Michonne goes on to do one of 3 movies with Andy. So, maybe. But we still got to get Andy through 7 years. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just wondering if they keep letting characters leave and leave it open-ended, is it going to get a little bit cumbersome for the audience? We'll ask that question. Mystics, they'll lose ratings if they kill Michonne, right? Mystic, I think there are major players that do have their following. Daryl probably being the biggest of the group right now, but certainly there's a lot of Michonne fans out there. I think they lost less Rick fans than people admitted to. There were just a world of people like, I'm never watching again when Rick's gone. And I think a lot of those people actually watched. In fact, I've seen a lot of them on stream still talking about the show, even though they said they'd never watch again. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. What else are you going to do on Sunday night when The Walking Dead's on? You're probably like, I ain't going to, whatever. I still like the show. Crawfish. Even after the splash and yet I smile. Hey, you know what, Crawfish? You're running out of Super Chat time, so get them in while you can. Matt Denzel says, I think that lady got her pasta maker. I am out of it. Wait, somebody's going to have to cue me in on this. That just went like completely past me. Okay. There we go. You know what? This is live. Anytime you're live, sometimes you're going to get it, sometimes you're not. Scott Cook, so is Judith rocking Rick's Python? She has it. Whether or not she'll use it, I guess that's... Hey, Michonne doesn't appear to be around to tell her yes or no. What's up, RJ? Thanks for being here. Aaron and Eric talked about the pasta maker to Daryl. Yeah, I was in season 9. I just we had to put it in reverse for a minute. Viola, who do you think's watching the kids? You know what? Judy might be watching herself. She seems to come and go as she pleases. I mean, she's out there, for 10, she's out there saving people. She's talking to Negan. So I think she's the boss of the house. Even when Michonne's like, who let him in? I let him in. She just goes with the flow. Scott Kern, if you had to pick the next A character to die, who would it be? You know what? We've hit an hour, so we're going to wind up with that super chat. So I'm going to make the super chat spotlight, Scott, and ask the entire group here. Who do you think is the next major character? We just saw Jesus. The next one to go. And I mean major. I don't mean Luke. A few people are saying Michonne. Father G, Ezekiel, Jerry. Jerry would be major enough. It is such a tough call for me. Well, Scott says when I say major, I mean someone from seasons 1 to 3. I mean, I would classify Ezekiel as a major character, and he's not 1 to 3. But, I mean, he's been such a big part of the story. Amy Ferrero, Michonne will die. We got a lot of super chats come in at the last minute. Michonne will die when she wants to go, possibly. I agree with that. I don't think they're going to write her off the show, Amy. I think, but at the same time, they start giving her $5, $6, $7 million a movie, and she can do her own thing. Then why stick around? And I do think that's in her future. So she'll write her own exit, but when they do, I think they kill her. But many people have chimed in and said, how about a Rick Michonne reunion in a movie? Wouldn't be a bad idea either. Commodore, no DHS. Nancy Drew says, what about the children? And I'm running through super chats quick, everybody, because we're going to wind the stream down really, really soon. William Finney, it's going to be awesome when the cliffhanger is Rick coming over the radio, Father G setup. Question. I don't think we'll ever see Rick on the television show again. But I know Steph the Cuervo Queen has said this. We've talked about it several times. Do you think we will hear some evidence that Rick is still alive? Could that be broadcast, and could that be the reason why Michonne goes out looking for... I guess that would be open-ended. Would you guys be cool with that? Michonne leaving the show to go find Rick? Would you be open toward another open-ended exit? I think so. I mean, some people are saying repeat, but it'd give us something to go watch in the movie. And Scott says, Judith, RJ, Daryl, and Carol are series survivors. We're going to watch RJ grow up. I do believe that. I don't think they brought him there to have him kidnapped in some weird way. I think RJ is going to be... We're going to see him grow up on the show. And Scott says, Rick will appear in the series finale in last 10 seconds. I don't think so. I think he's done. I do not think you'll see his face on The Walking Dead again. And with that, we are going to wind down another fun stream. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate you guys being here. There will be no stream tomorrow night. So, everybody at once. We will be back live Saturday. Here's the thing, and this is for the international viewers out there. Would Father G pick it up on AMC's broadcast? No, he would not. Saturday, we're probably going to flip-flop sometimes. Normally, we do 11 o'clock on Saturday, 12 o'clock on Sunday. So it looks more likely that the Saturday stream, it could still be 11, but more than likely the Saturday will be noon and the Sunday will be 11. So a little bit of a time shift, but there will be no stream tomorrow night. So you guys get out, have a good time, be safe. do all the cool stuff you do. And on Sunday, we're still going to do our morning stream. And hold tight. We're still going to do our 8 o'clock stream, even though, as our countdown, even though there's no Walking Dead. So Sunday streams are still going to be in full effect. So we will do Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and we will still do a Sunday evening at 8 o'clock and then our regular streams. And get out and do some holiday shopping. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are incredible. What an amazing channel of Walking Dead fans and the 999 Army. You guys showing up every single night. Just keep that fire going. We're going to get through it. I'm going to tell you, we do these streams, and you're going to find that a week goes by, and then another one, and before you know it, we're going to be the week of. That's the way it happened all summer. It was super, super quick. Just hit an hour, too. So, once again, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, and at the end of these videos, this is the closing credits, but I do like to give a bunch of shout-outs and thank a whole lot of people, so just bear with me for a couple seconds. I'm going to start out with the Patreons. In the top left-hand corner up there, you can see that is the kind of like my wall of fame up there. They support the channel through a third-party website. That third-party website is listed down in the link below. I will do another Patreon poll, so I saw Kitty Cat ask about that. So one of the topics next week will be based on what the patrons want to talk about. So if you are a patron, then you'll get your input in there. The sponsors, top right-hand corner, you can see they're listed in green. Sponsorship has been cut off. So the old sponsors are grandfathered into it, but until YouTube opens up that option again, instead of becoming a sponsor, you can still become a Patreon. Always a shout out to my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, the best in the business. You will not find a better group of moderators anywhere on YouTube. I can promise you that. And a whole bunch of super chatters tonight, so let me shout them out really quick. Scott Kernan in rare form again. Captain Crawfish, both of them, a ton of super chats. Valar as well. Drama King, William Finney, Silver Mayhem, thank you so much. Jimmy's Jammin', multiple super chats. Logan, Kitty Cat, Christopher Sage, very nice. I do like that Red Wedding reference. Ramon Carter, Westwood Chronic, E Beach, Jake from State Farm, Chris Riddle. I'm not sure if I said Mystics, but thank you as well. The Swedish Jersey Girl. Thank you, Swedish Jersey Girl. And Matt Moore. And who else we got in here? Super chatting. Matt Denzel. Amy Ferrero. Thank you. And as I said before, ton of super chats with William Scott, Captain Crawfish, all keeping the conversation lively and engaged. And the last shout out we do is give me a whole bunch of 999 so I can shout out everybody that's part of the stream. So, Louis Grimes, Samantha Coombs, RJ Guerrero, Melanie Shaw, Rebecca Briggs. I saw somebody said, hey, this is my first live stream and I'm subscribing. I hope so. I love to hear that. Anybody that's new that comes in that has a good time, then that means that we did a good job and all of you did a good job of making them feel welcome. And that's the way our channel is going to continue to grow. We're going to grow to 100 patrons. We're going to grow to 1,000 fans on our Facebook page. And we're going to grow to 100,000 subscribers. Those are all goals we have set before the end of Season 9. So we got about, 5 months, 6 months in order to make that happen, and I'm very confident that we'll get there. Shane Yutzy, thanks for being here. Colleen Hayes, Fred McGee, Gamma, and the Whisperer crew doing a little disco dancing. Anna Hume, Christina Britt. It's like we had Britt and we had Hume, Britt Hume. All right, we got William Finney, Newfield 12, Scott Cook, Julia Muse, DDA Ohio, Dark Stark Killer, Holly Pierce, Lee George, Jilmo 9, Bumblebee Brown, Mama Man Bun, shout out, I love that. Tommy's mom, Mama Man Bun, that is great. Mary Hugh, Jessica Parcell, Hilda Pineda, Jimmy Brooks, Chris Reinig, Tommy V, Northside Queen, Taps Ghost Lover, Tony Arovio, Alex Rodriguez. I'm going to ask one more question while we got a lot of people here and doing shout-outs. Do me a big favor. If you used to watch another YouTube channel, you don't have to tell me what that channel is, and you're a former viewer of their channel and you are a part of the 999 Army now, give me a 444. Because I hear that a lot. I hear, hey, and you don't have to say who it is, but I hear a lot of times people say, hey, I used to watch such and such, but now I'm over here and I'm a part of the Army. So I just want like a show of support to see all the people. Give me a quick 444 if you came from another YouTube channel and this is your home base right now. So check that out. Awesome, awesome stuff. Angie Homan, Hayden Lamont, Damon DeRizio, Lisa Calisi, Tammy Hill, Diana C., Sylvia Castro. This is that kind of, that makes me feel awesome. And the last thing, if you guys ever need to reach me on anything, if you're part of the 999 Army on Facebook, you can send me messages on Messenger. You can kick me at KILZHOT. I'll try to respond as quick as possible. I know that I do get a lot of messages that go back and forth. People share articles, they share theories. So if it takes me a few days to respond to you, just be patient. I'm not, a lot of times I'm just not immediately on at that time, but I will try to do the best I can to get back in touch with you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everything you do. Once again, pike the like button. Don't slap the like button. And if I missed you in a shout out, I'll try to get you in the next stream. The next stream is Saturday morning. It'll either be 11 a.m. or noon. Sunday will definitely be at 11 a.m. It'll be earlier on Sunday, and then we'll also do the second stream on Sunday night. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy your Friday. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid tomorrow night, because I need to see each and every one of you here in the stream on Saturday morning. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.